Hey guys, it's Kyle Thompson here with eXp Realty, bringing you the first market update for October, and this week we're going to be covering all property types. Let's jump right into it. All right, so at a glance, we had 328 new listings, 153 new sales. The average list price was $639,522. The average sale price was $617,608. The average sale to list price ratio was 96.27. Average days on market was 49.78, and we ended the month with an inventory of 969. So let's jump over and take a look at what that means for the market conditions. I like to use both the monthly supply of inventory method as well as the sales to new listing ratio, as I find using both measures gives a more complete picture of what's going on in the market. With that said, using the monthly supply of inventory method, we came in at 6.38, which puts us into a buyer's market. We've been in a buyer's market for the last 4 months now when using the MSI. If we jump over and take a look at the sales to new listing ratio instead, we see that we came in at 47%, which puts us into a neutral market. Now let's jump over and take a look at the active inventory last month. In September, we broke a 4-month trend of having lower new listings, rising from 319 in August up to 328 in September. However, new sales continued to decline for the 4th month in a row, coming in at 153, down from 161 in August. Expired listings had a huge bump, rising from 83 up to 117 in September, and that is the highest amount of expired listings over the last 12 months. The benchmark price for a home in Kamloops did fall $3,000 from $586,500 down to $583,500. Now let's take a look at the end of month inventory. Last month we ended the month with an inventory of 969, which is 9.91% below the 10-year average of 882. And this is the highest amount of inventory this time of the year, going back to 2019. If we jump over and take a look at new listings, we see that so far year to date, there has been 3,229 new listings, which is about 3.75% above the 10-year average of 3,112. This is the highest amount of new listings year to date, going back to 2016. If we take a look at the units sold instead, we see that so far year to date, there's been 1,478 new sales, which is about 22.47% below the 10-year average of 1,906 for this time of year. And this is the lowest amount of sales year to date in the last decade. Now let's jump over and take a look at the average sale price. This table is measuring year-over-year changes, so a full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, in aggregate, prices are up about 4.75%, with all of the property types being up on the year, other than apartments, which were only down 0.78, so less than 1%. Now let's take a look at the sale to list price ratio. So all this is a ratio for how much properties are selling below the list price. And it's a good proxy for how much negotiating room you have when you are the buyer. And in September, the sale to new listing ratio rose about 0.8%, meaning that there is less negotiating room when you are on the buying side. Let's move on now to sales by property type. Once again, this table is measuring full year over full year changes, and when looked at that way, in aggregate, sales are down 4.7%, with single families, apartments, manufactured homes, half duplexes, and lots all being down on the year. Finally, let's jump over and take a look at how long it's taking properties to sell, starting off with the 10-year. So far year to date, excuse me, it's taken an average of 50 days for properties to sell, which is about 5% below the 10-year average of 53. If we take a look at the trailing 12 months, we see that in September we came in at 50 days, which is exactly on par for the 12-month average. And if we look at it by property type, we see that single families and townhomes are essentially flat, whereas apartments, half duplexes, and recreational dwellings are all selling faster, and manufactured homes, lots, and full duplexes are taking anywhere between 5 to 21% longer to sell. So to sum things up, the market continues to struggle. Inventory's been building, and as I mentioned earlier, expireds were at a 12-month high last month, and sales continue to be at 10-year lows. This is with the backdrop of lower interest rates and as we are moving into the slower season of the year. So I do expect the market to continue to struggle throughout the rest of the year. That said, average days on market and prices have been holding in relatively well. That's all we have for today. I really hope that you guys are continuing to get value out of these market updates. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And as always, if you feel like something wasn't thoroughly explained, or if you wanted something added to these monthly market updates, please feel free to leave your comments or suggestions in the comment section below, and I will get to them as soon as I'm able. Thanks for watching.